with the natural world today.
Listen every weekday afternoon during the KSJE Evening News at 5:30.
Hi, I'm Yael Cassander.
And I'm Don Glass.
And we host A Moment of Science.
For more than 20 years, A Moment of Science has been taking an entertaining look at the science behind some of life's most perplexing questions.
In just 2 minutes, you get a look at the fascinating world around us and beyond.
We hope you'll tune in.
For more information about A Moment of Science or to download our latest podcasts, visit us at amomentofscience.org.
Listen weekday afternoons at 5:45 on KSJE.
Hi everyone, I'm Scott Michlin.
And I'm Jenny Lee Ryan.
And we're here to tell you how to become a zero-mile achiever.
First, register online for the Zero Mile Fun Run at KSJE.com.
Second, join us at San Juan College Graduation Plaza on Saturday, May 18th.
Third, run. We'll start the race at 10:30 a.m. on an actual 27-foot course downhill, and that's it.
All proceeds benefit listener-supported KSJE.
So register now at KSJE.com.
This program is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center, who's expanding its services to offer low-cost blood screenings all year round. Now offering walk-in convenience to get the blood tests you want when you want them. MyLabs, patient-ordered testing, is available in Farmington at the hospital's laboratory and the Outpatient Diagnostic Center on 30th Street. Also in Aztec at San Juan Health Partners Family Medicine at 120 Llano Street. With nearly 20 tests available, there's an option for everyone. MyLabs, patient-ordered testing, a wellness service of San Juan Regional Medical Center.
This program on KSJE is supported by Citizens Trust and Investment Corporation, providing a competent, innovative, and caring team of professionals to serve wealth management, trust administration, employee benefit plans, retirement planning, and estate settlement needs. Find out more about Citizens Trust and Investment Corporation at 505-599-0181.
Eleven minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Wednesday morning, April 24th. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Michlin, and thank you for tuning in to KSJE 90.9 FM, the information and cultural beacon of the Four Corners, broadcasting from San Juan College. Special good morning to our viewers who are also watching our visual radio program this morning on the KSJE Facebook page and YouTube channel. Welcome aboard, everyone. We're glad you're with us. Coming up in just a moment, my guests on the program today from the Farmington Municipal School District. Of course, we're talking about education in Farmington schools. There's lots to talk about this morning, and we'll get to that in just a moment here on KSJE. Later on this hour, it's our weekly trip to the Encouragement Lab with Communications Professor Dr. Mike Haddabaugh. He'll be joining us today about 8:55. He has a bit of a challenge for us, so stay tuned for that. We'll fill you in coming up this morning at 8:55. After the news at 9 o'clock, Mick Hess will take us roving with the arts. This morning, Mick is playing some Brahms string quartets for us at 9 on KSJE. And then, of course, it's our local and regional author program at 10:30 today, right on Four Corners. Tracy Halesvass is talking about this book, Straight from the Bible, Difficult and Misunderstood Bible Topics, written by P. Nicholas Kinnis, and that's coming up today at 10:30 on KSJE, so we hope you'll stay tuned for that. One more reminder for you, too, about the KSJE Zero Mile Fun Run, a great way to support KSJE, this radio station. Get yourself a free T-shirt. Join us for the Zero Mile Fun Run on Saturday, May 18th. We'll start giving away the T-shirts or giving out the T-shirts at 10 o'clock. The race will start at 10:30, and it will end at 10:31. Because it's a zero-mile fun run, everybody. So register today at KSJE.com. $15 now, $20 the day of the race if you want to join us day of, right here at San Juan College Graduation Plaza, 10 a.m. Saturday, May 18th at KSJE. And if you're looking for something else to do between now and then, we invite you to check out our regional events calendar on our website, KSJE.com. There are a lot of events going on in the next couple of days. The calendar runs through all of them and beyond. Of course, the San Juan Basin Energy Conference is continuing today here up at San Juan College at the School of Energy. This Friday, we've talked about that on the program, our Arbor Day tree giveaway here at the San Juan College greenhouse at the Outdoor Learning Center. Free trees being given away. Tonight, Chevelle Shepherd is in concert giving back to her church at the Word of Life Christian Center in Farmington, so that is taking place. There's a historic downtown Farmington houses walking tour tomorrow on April 25th. Just a few of the many events you will find if you check out our regional events calendar. Just go to our website at ksje.com. Well, let me turn to my guests who are here with us this morning on the program to talk a little bit about education. Once again, Dr. Eugene Schmidt is here, Superintendent of Schools from the Farmington Municipal School District. Dr. Schmidt, good morning.
Scott, good morning, and I'd like, with your permission,
Yes,
to rename your show for the morning. I know that you're the cultural beacon of the Four Corners, but in a few minutes I'd like to introduce the multicultural corner beacon of the Four Corners. And so I'd like to kind of flip the name of your show a little bit. The viewers and listeners will understand in a few minutes.
I think that makes a lot of sense, Dr. Schmidt, so thank you for that and welcome. It's good to have you here, of course. Our other guests who are here to talk a little bit about multiculturalism as well. Karen Garcia Brown is here. She is the Director of Multicultural Services for the Farmington School District. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Good to have you with us. And, of course, also with you and with us this morning, Dr. Shaul Iron Moccasin is here as well. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Assistant Director of Indian Education for Farmington Schools. And great to have you all with us. And with that being said, Dr. Schmidt, let me turn back to you a little bit about the multicultural reasons that we're here this morning.
Yes, and I thank you for that. The community would understand that over 6,400 of our 12,000 students are Native American, and something close to 4,000 of our students are Hispanic or Latino. And so it would seem appropriate to have these two ladies talk about the work that they're doing as the leaders of their departments. And what we're going to discover today, Scott, is they're doing some amazing work. And not only have these ladies helped raise the graduation rates of our demographical groups, we're going to discover that there are award winners as people and their departments. And I just wanted to give them a chance to showcase what they're doing and have our community applaud the work that these people are doing on behalf of children throughout our district. So
very good. All right. Well, we'll start with Karen Garcia Brown and a little bit about your job as Director of Multicultural Education for Farmington Municipal Schools. So talk to me a little bit about what that entails.
Well, thank you for having me.
You bet.
And my job is to oversee the Language and Culture Department for Farmington Municipal Schools as Multicultural Director. And basically, I oversee the work of ensuring that our bilingual students and our English language our students of a second language receive an equitable education in Farmington School District. Mm-hmm. At this time, we have 1,447 bilingual students in our program and 1,307 English learners in Farmington schools. And we have 45 students at the high school level who have earned the bilingual biliteracy seal, and that seal will have them have that seal on their diploma as well as on their transcripts.
I see. And that means what for those students?
What that means is that they have proven that they are bilingual and biliterate in a language other than English, and that will open doors for them in the working world as well as for colleges.
Okay.
And so when you speak a language other than English, that is that really is a milestone for them.
Sure.
And so they receive that seal in Spanish or French. And also we have two that are in Navajo, and Dr. Iron Moccasin will speak to that as well.
Okay, very good.
We have English language development programs in our school district, and those programs and services mean that we have an English language facilitator that supports our teachers with professional development and instructional materials, and she provides a lot of support for our teachers. We also have a specific English language development course in each of our schools to help raise the English language proficiency for our students. At this time, we have 15 different languages in Farmington Municipal Schools.
15?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We have not just Spanish and Native American languages.
Mm-hmm.
We have Vietnamese, Cantonese, Russian, Portuguese. We have a multiple amount of languages.
Right. And you have to be able to teach children
To the-
who speak those languages.
We have to be able to help those children receive an equitable language, an equitable education.
I see. No matter what language they speak when
regardless
they
of
when
the
they present
language
to
that
you,
they
I
speak.
suppose, right? Or
Absolutely.
to the district. Gotcha.
Absolutely, yes. And
I think people will be surprised that there are so many different languages in Farmington. Certainly we understand maybe Navajo and Spanish,
Mm-hmm.
but the others are maybe a bit surprising to folks.
Absolutely, and those children are deserving of an education equal to their English-speaking peers.
Right.
And so we provide the services for them.
That's your job.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay.
Absolutely.
Dr. Schmidt talked a little bit about awards that you have won. Can I ask you a bit about those?
Yes, I just received notice last week that I have been awarded the state Bilingual Administrators Award, and so
Congratulations.
it's quite an honor. And I'm a little embarrassed, but
Modest may be the better word to use. How's that? But congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm sure it's well deserved. I'm sure Dr. Schmidt would say it's well deserved.
Yeah, let me offer several thoughts, and certainly we're very proud of the work that Ms. Garcia Brown does on behalf of our schools. In her humbleness, she hasn't shared that she and Dr. Ann Moccasin conspired to set up dual language kindergarten programs at both Apache and perhaps Dr. Ann Moccasin can talk about that, but McCormick Elementary is a school that has a dual language Spanish speaking kindergarten program, and these things were introduced and brought to the district by these ladies. And so when we celebrate being the administrator of the year for Ms. Garcia Brown, certainly we are appreciative of not only has she brought language and indigenous language back into the school system, there's also training for parents at night, because I believe that there's a community parent language night. You know, we just don't want to teach the kids, we want to teach the parents the language as well. So really did some nice work, and very proud to have her leading our multicultural division. So thank you, Karen, for that.
Well,
Thank you.
Congratulations again. And what that means for students and for parents is that some of these things are offered to their students to hopefully, again, get them learning at proficiency levels like their English language counterparts, I suppose, or in
Yes.
peers, right?
Yes.
That's what it's all about.
Yes, sir.
Very good. What about some of the other things that your department does?
We have, as Dr. Smith said, we offer parent language courses, both in Spanish and in Navajo. And next year we'll be offering English language courses for our non-English speaking parents.
Okay.
And so we're opening that up. We are also going to provide a service at central office for our non-English speaking parents to help them with registration, district policies, to ensure that they understand everything that we offer for Farmington schools. If they don't understand the English language, we want to ensure that they have that opportunity to know what's going on.
Right.
And so we're going to have that service for them as well.
Right. I imagine they're all free, these
Absolutely.
services
Absolutely.
that you're offering.
Absolutely.
Right.
One more, Scott, outreach again on
Yes.
behalf of these ladies, and then we'll quickly jump to some thoughts from Dr. Armackerson. But when you go to the district's website, you can click a button that will flip it into Spanish and other languages
Sure.
as well. So the district is trying to do an outreach to all of our families through visual communication as well. So again, thank you, Ms. Garcia Brown, for the work that you're doing leading multicultural.
Very good. That's true. Okay. And something going on at McCormick Elementary School. Dr. Schmidt, I think, mentioned that, but another award for a program over there at
Yes.
McCormick?
Well, as Dr. Schmidt mentioned, we opened a dual language program in Spanish for kindergarten and first grade. And we have a program to support that school. It's called Imagine Learning. And so their dual language program uses that support, and because of their exemplary usage and implementation with language and literacy and with the Espanol piece, they have been awarded their Imagine Learning Beacon Award and for the state. And so I was notified yesterday that Imagine Learning Company is going to provide them a banner and come down and award McCormick with that Beacon Award for their outstanding use of Imagine Learning and implementation in our dual language program.
Nice. Again, congratulations. And it goes down to, again, I imagine the teachers who are
the teachers and
in
the
those
principals,
schools.
Yes. And I have to say that this work is not possible without the principals and the teachers and their hard work and dedication to our students.
Very good. And Dr. Schmidt, again, that's all
Yeah,
part of the goal, I guess, to help these kids, so these students learn and achieve and be good learners like their counterparts, like their peers.
Yeah, several things in our what we call our 5 pillars of success, certainly the academic achievement, but also the engagement of families and community into the school. And so there are really some nice things being done. So I was going to tease you one more time and say, now you have to deal with 2 beacons in our community.
That's right, and their beacon. That's right. That's very true. But we're okay with that. We will share the term gladly when it's for something like this, so that's wonderful. Well, thank you very much, and congratulations for the work that is being done in Farmington schools and on all the accolades and attention that is being given and recognized from around the state. That's got to be nice that the state recognizes that what you're doing. So very good. I'm Scott Michlin, my guest this morning from Farmington Municipal Schools, and we are talking about education in Farmington schools this morning. And Dr. Shawl Iron Moccasin is also here with us, and she is the Assistant Director of Indian Education for Farmington Schools. And again, thank you for coming in, Dr. Iron Moccasin.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. And talk to me a little bit about the work that you do in your program with schools throughout the district, correct? It's not just at the high schools, is it?
Absolutely.
Right. And so when we talk about Indian education, what types of things? We know we have a lot of Native American students, of course, and so it's very important to meet their needs as well.
Correct. So Ms. Brown and I work in the same department. I oversee the Indian education component of multicultural services. And primarily, we have a program that we have developed core values, and our program is based on those core values.
Okay.
Everything we do, and by we, I'm talking about the youth advisors. I have a Native American youth advisor at each of the secondary schools.
Right.
Who is in charge of working particularly with our students who are struggling with attendance, with academics, and they provide that cultural mentoring, the assistance to help them land on their feet, using the core values that our program is based on.
I see. And those core values would be things like what, for example?
So they are core values, very central to our culture.
Right.
The first one is Ahwe Jitego, which is having an innate perseverance to be successful. And the second one is Ke, which is basically relationships, kinship.
Right.
The third one is Ajobat, which is having compassion for others around you. And then Hojo is the next one, which means to do things with care, with caution. And the last one is Nihizad Ile, which means our language is valuable.
I see.
So the youth advisors use these core values anytime they work with students to help them focus on their culture and their identity. So we are in our our first year with youth advisors at all secondary schools. Prior to this year, we only had them at the high schools.
I see. And does that translate too into their academic achievements and things like that in the classroom by going back to those core values?
Right. So what we're trying to do is help students appreciate who they are as Native people and use that as a foundation to see themselves as successful people. So the youth advisors will work with a group of 20 at a time, and they are getting, the data shows that they are getting the students that they're working with either to come to school regularly, which then impacts their academics. It improves their grade, and then they also keep data on students who are improving a letter grade in math and English language arts.
I see.
We are seeing some progress, but again, this is our first year in working together as a team.
Right. But it's something that you're watching, I guess, and measuring or trying to grade how well it's going.
Yes.
In this first year.
Right.
As you mentioned. And Dr. Schmidt, is this something that again, it wouldn't be possible without the support of the principals in the schools and things like that to help make this happen?
There really are a lot of nice stories below this story when Dr. Ayamakasan talks about the value of her Native youth advisors at every secondary school. That creates a caring adult for every Native child. And so these people will call the home, say, how are you doing? We need to get to school. How are you doing on your homework? Are you staying up? We're trying to build an environment where kids don't fall behind. And if they do fall behind, we catch them right away. We don't want our kids to fail. And so one of the things we'll be talking about in perhaps the second segment is graduation rates. And so under the leadership of these ladies, we are seeing the graduation rates of Hispanic students, Native American students, be among the best in the state. And we know that we can be even better, but building relationships through these connections to kids, I think is going to have a dramatic impact over the next few years. And so we appreciate the ideas that these ladies are bringing into the school system, again, to connect, build that safe zone for kids.
Right. And it's another example of how these programs help with the ultimate goal of getting these kids to stay in school and to do well in their classes and go on to whatever it is they want to do once they complete high school.
Yes.
And so there's another award for you in your program, is there not, Dr. Ayamakasan, that we can talk about this morning?
So we have an evaluator that comes in twice a year, once in the fall and then once in the spring. Mm-hmm. He was very impressed with, he'll visit with me, and then he'll go to the schools and visit with the youth advisors, and they will show how they're keeping data and how they're working with students. He was very impressed with the program, that he nominated us for the exemplary program for the Southwest region at the National Johnson O'Malley Conference.
Wow.
And so my team was able to pick up that award.
Congratulations. And again, exemplary is a pretty good word to use, I would think. So.
And it being really our first year with the team,
right.
I thought that was pretty good.
And this is up against other programs in other school districts around the country,
across the nation,
I would think, right, Dr. Schmidt?
And let me go and talk about the future for these two ladies, because for the last several years we've been watching with interest the Yazzie and Martinez lawsuits against the state of New Mexico for adequately funding or sufficiently funding public education. That court case has been settled, and a direct result of that is millions of new dollars that go to what we call at-risk students. And so many of the students that these ladies are trying to connect with are part of that at-risk population. So over the next year, again, we'll be adding in another $2 million into programs. As an example, the budget committee meeting, we'll talk about that in a short while, but we're looking to add somewhere between 15 and 20 more teachers into the educational system in the hopes of reducing class size. And again, reduced class size, more individual contact with kids, better success academically. Kids feel like they're building relationships. And so these ladies will be guiding us in the work that we do with at-risk kids over these next years with these new dollars. Millions of dollars, Scott.
Right, and that was as a result of the legislative session and as a result of this lawsuit, as you mentioned. That was their attempts to resolve it, right?
Yes, once that court case was settled, the judge gave the state legislature till April 15th, which was their last day,
right,
to
figure it out.
To figure out how to invest more money in at-risk students.
Sure. And so, Dr. Iron-Moccasin, I imagine this is exciting because many times maybe you're asked to do something and there's not always a lot of money there to use. And so with the state now maybe putting a focus on this issue, is that something that can be helpful when it comes down to your program and others across the state and to how well your students are doing?
I think it'll benefit our entire department.
Both of you,
because we do
sure.
share a lot of students. We have students who are bilingual in our bilingual programs, as well as English language development classrooms. So I think we really work well together.
Right.
So I think it'll benefit a lot of our students.
Sure. Let me bring Ms. Garcia-Brown back into the conversation a little bit about some of this extra focus that your programs are getting because of this lawsuit, because of what the state legislature decided to do and during their session. Good news for programs like yours around the state and in Farmington?
At this time, I think that we're waiting to see what the specific goals of the lawsuit will be. And as soon as we find out, then we are we're definitely looking forward to see how we can go further to strengthen the current programs that we have.
Sure.
And then we'll move forward from there. We have some very strong things in place right now in Farmington. And definitely, anytime you get additional funding, that's a good thing.
Right.
And
which I guess you could use for more staff or try to get the classes smaller or things like that. Those are what I'm talking about?
Right. And so as soon as the specific goals are determined with this lawsuit, then we'll know which direction that we can take. And that's where we're at right now with the state at the state level.
Right.
And so we definitely will put any additional funding to good use, and put them right in the classrooms where our teachers need them and for our children.
Very good. Well, congratulations again. And Dr. Iron-Moccasin, back to you a little bit about some of your students getting some recognition as well when they graduate soon.
So 2 of our students, one at Farmington High and one at Piedra Vista, that were able to obtain the bilingual biliteracy seal in Navajo.
Okay.
Which means they're fluent speakers. They are. It'll appear on their graduation, just like Ms. Brown mentioned.
Right.
So, with our many of our students not having the language, it's wonderful to see 2 of our students obtain this award.
Right, and this is specifically for being able to speak the Navajo language.
Yes.
Correct. Right.
Yes.
And I know a lot of folks are concerned about the native languages across the world, really, that we're losing some of those. And there's been an increased effort, I think, locally in the last maybe decade or a little bit over 10 years, maybe, to teach the Navajo language and to, again, a lot of folks turning back to the Navajo language to keep it alive and learn it and share it and those types of things.
Correct. So the dual language program at Apache is a Navajo dual language program. We are moving our kinders, our first set of kinders, into first grade. And so we are currently looking for a dual language teacher for our incoming kinder. Miss Williams, who currently teaches the dual language Navajo, is moving up with her first graders in the coming school year.
Okay.
So That's a plug for Navajo language teacher, if there's one listening out there.
Job opening, right? Help wanted. Okay.
And then we also offer for our parents free Navajo language class on Mondays this year. Last year, I believe it was on Tuesdays, completely free, and they work with our Navajo language facilitator who teaches those classes. So we are putting opportunities out because our parents are interested in relearning the language.
Sure.
So we have those opportunities for parents to attend those classes.
Interesting. I imagine you find a lot of families maybe whose children are learning Navajo, but maybe the parents, even maybe the grandparents, that kind of a lost generation who did not get the opportunity to learn their language.
Yes, absolutely.
So what a great opportunity for them to take advantage of that. So
Yes.
Great. Well, thank you both for coming in, both of you, to talk a little bit about the work that you do at Farmington Schools. It's fascinating and very important work, as we've heard. So thank you both
for
very
having
much.
us.
You're welcome. Dr. Schmidt, let me turn back to you a little bit, because I know there are a few topics that you would like to touch on this morning while you are here, and we could talk a little bit about some of the things. Budget committee, always something this time of year you have to talk about, correct? Because now you know how much money the state is going to give you, and this year it's better than it has been.
Yes, and let me jump back. Before we get into the budget, I want to talk very briefly about a goal that I can offer to these ladies in the work that they do, and that's we have an opportunity through a group called New Mexico Rising to recruit future teachers out of our high school ranks. And it's important that our listeners know that San Juan College is a great partner in trying to move future teachers into the mainstream. As an example, the college has an early childhood education program. I know that a number of seniors this year are taking dual credit courses that would lead them to the possibility of becoming future teachers. And so as we look forward to next year and the years beyond, one of the things that we'll be hoping for is that we can engage more high school students in the thought of becoming an educator of the future through New Mexico Rising. So all you high school kids out there, start thinking about teaching is a wonderful career. And it would be my hope that some year that our teaching population would look like us as a community. And so we would like to figure out more ways to engage. And so when Dr. Armakazan talks about Native Youth Advisors, perhaps there's an opportunity through that group to begin instilling the thought that public education or a teaching career would be a fascinating opportunity for the future.
Right. I would think so. And I know a lot of people in the teaching profession are very passionate about it. They wouldn't do anything else despite all of the other challenges and ups and downs and things that we hear about. So I think it's a great thing for folks to consider. And a lot more attention is being given to the profession of teaching, I think, these days.
Yes, and so let me go back to the thoughts that I was hoping to share. The school is actively engaged in building our budget for the next school year.
Right.
We have a budget committee that will be meeting this afternoon, and we're nearing the conclusions. But the good news is this is a budget year we can talk about adding money into the budget. It seemed like, Scott, the last 3 years you and I are talking about how we're taking money out of the budget, reducing the number of teachers. So we're very excited to share with your listening audience that we will be putting teachers back into the classroom. For Farmington, it's something in the neighborhood of 9.2, maybe as much as $9.4 million more than last year. So I want to thank all those oil and gas people out there, because
Right. It's really
it's a revenue year for New Mexico.
And much because of that industry is what you're talking
And
about.
much
So,
because, yes, and so I want to thank all those gas and oil people out there.
And the teachers that are being added to the classrooms and that are still in the classrooms are going to be making more money in the new year, too. That's also part of this budget.
Yeah, that's exciting news for the teachers. Is immediate. There's an infusion of new staff salary dollars. A part of the legislation passed will raise the beginning, what we call level 1, teacher pay to $41,000, and that's up from $36,000. And so that's a 9% salary increase thanks to revenues generated by our extraction industries. Middle level 2 teachers, $50,000, level 3, $60,000. If teachers are already in those levels, because sometimes through experience or credits, they will get a 6%. And so we're raising the level. It has been that chant that Farmington has had for years, first to 40,
Right.
and the state legislature has responded. What that does for us, Scott, is it makes our salaries comparable to Arizona, Utah, and Colorado. So we, as a Four Corners interest, we will have a chance to recruit more actively in that little Four Corners region for teachers that would benefit our kids. And so increased salaries. And two other very specific things that I'd like to share is one is called K-5 Reading Plus.
Right.
And this is a opportunity for the state. It's a grant application process where two of our schools, Apache Elementary and Esperanza, have applied for funding to pilot an additional 25 days to the school year. And so we'll be looking to recruit teachers from Apache and Esperanza, upwards of 100 kids or more from each of those schools, to start school in July. And so,
Okay. That's new.
That's going to be new,
Right.
and we will watch those 100 kids or more to see how much either loss of learning will they avoid or new learning will they have before their peers show up in August. And so that will be a curiosity. It may be, Scott, in 5 years we're talking about all 10 elementaries are going school year-round. And
Right,
so this
right.
is the start of an experiment or a
Interesting.
pilot to see what happens.
Okay, very interesting. And then testing, of course, you call it Park Light.
Yes.
Is underway. But it's a new state built assessment.
Yes, when the new governor and her Secretary of Education came into office, one of their campaign promises that they would begin to look for ways to reduce the time of the test and perhaps what the purpose of the test is used for. The new Park Light, the kids actually took the math portion, grades 3 through 11 yesterday. They're taking ELA probably today and tomorrow. And so make sure your kids are fed before they come to school and ready to learn. But the Park Light is a shorter test that the state tells us they will give us the responses, the information from those by the end of May, so we can begin planning for next year. Park tests in the past oftentimes weren't shared until October or November, which didn't give us a summer to prepare what the new learning might look like. So for the listening audience, this is breaking news, if you will. The Park Light will have a new name next year.
Okay.
And so start thinking about TAMELA, T-A-M-E-L-A, TAMELA. But it is the transition assessment for math and English language arts. And so TAMELA will be the new park as we move into the future. And the state actually has a committee of 40 people studying what will the assessments of the future look like, and we're pleased to share that one of our people, Nate Parentoni, is part of that group of 40 that will help guide the thought process for the new state assessment. But be watching for that. There will always be an assessment. Federal law dictates that.
Right.
What it looks like is a state decision we get to make.
And that's what we're talking about. So very good. We are just almost out of time, Dr. Schmidt, and you brought a magazine article with you that I want to ask you about because I think it has some nice accolades for the new Farmington High School. The magazine, I'll hold it up here for everyone, is called Learning by Design, and in it is a nice article. And tell us a little bit about what it's talking about here for Farmington High School.
Yes, we're very pleased to share that when we build schools of high quality, and Farmington High has won a number of design and construction awards. When you make a national magazine, it's a big deal. And so we're very proud of the architect FBT, the builder Janes Corporation, but we're also very proud of the fact that those Farmington High kids, 1,500 kids, ran around campus, over 40 portables during that construction time, maintaining a high quality of learning. And just a credit to the administration and the teachers that while this building is going on around them, we're building a design that qualifies for a national magazine.
Well, congratulations, and it seems to be holding up well, and I know folks seem to be, and teachers, thrilled to be in that new space, so congratulations again on the new Farmington High School. So we are out of time, everybody, I'm sorry to say, but thank you all for coming in this morning and talking about the work that you all do for students in Farmington schools.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you very much, everybody. My guests here from Farmington Municipal Schools on KSJE. I'll be back with more in just a moment, everybody. The time right now is 8:48.
This program on KSJE is supported by Citizens Trust and Investment Corporation, providing a competent, innovative, and caring team of professionals to serve wealth management, trust administration, employee benefit plans, retirement planning, and estate settlement needs. Find out more about Citizens Trust and Investment Corporation at 505-599-0181. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center, your community hospital with a rich heritage that dates back to before New Mexico was a state. We've been improving the health of the Four Corners since 1910. As a nonprofit hospital, San Juan Regional Medical Center is a values-driven organization. We strive to deliver on our mission to personalize health care and create vitality and enthusiasm in healing. We are here for you when you need us, offering a comprehensive range of inpatient